Today's July 25th, 2025. Tomorrow, July 26th, I'll no longer be able to say that I have a simple Kawasaki Z125 Pro. I've only owned this bike since December of 24. I got this bike at First Bike Motorsports thinking, hey, this is the third Z125 I've bought in. This is it. I'm not going to get another one. I'm going to do everything that I can to this bike, and it's going to be the last one. Unfortunately, as I stated, the Z125's got to go. It's funny, saying goodbye is always difficult, whether it's saying goodbye to your hometown, saying goodbye to an old job. Shoot, I bet even the factory workers behind me had a difficult time leaving that job and saying goodbye. It's always a difficult thing to accept, and that's kind of where I'm at here today. So I'm taking the Z125 out for our last ride together, and eventually I'll do a little montage of everything that's been done to this bike. But again, take a good look. This is the last video of the Z125 Pro as you know it. You've been a good ride. Alright, so I might have baited you there. Yes, the Z125 Pro will be no more. And that's because I've ordered a big bore kit from Man in the Box. It's a 143, so tomorrow I will be calling this the 143 Pro. Now, I placed this order on Monday. By Thursday, the kit was already on my front doorstep, and I could not have been more excited to open that package. Within minutes of seeing delivered, I grabbed that box, cut it open, immediately hit it with some degreaser, some brake cleaner, cleaned it up, and then masked it. And by 7 o'clock that night, I had already painted it with black ceramic paint for that OEM look. Now, the 143 is not all that I have done or will have done to this bike. I have quite a bit of money, unfortunately, into this bike. Most of it is actually from Man in the Box. I've done the ceramic ball bearings. This greatly helps that small little 8 horsepower motor accelerate and maintain speed. Anytime you get that rotational mass, anything helps. From there, I moved to the Kenda street tires. Stock tires were a little bit slippery. Moving on up, I do have a budget exhaust system. No, it's not a Zoom, it's a Leo Vance. It was one of the more budget-friendly ones that still had a baffle that didn't quite have as much bark as a previous exhaust that I had. Maybe a Yoshi one day, time will tell. Just not willing to drop that big of money onto the bike yet. From there, I have the Öhlins rear shock. Again, Man in the Box there. For now, I have an Amazon tail tidy kit. This was so that I could run the stock turn signals with the stock tail light. Since then, I have gotten a TST tail light, and then I ordered the TST rear tidy kit from Man in the Box as well. I picked up the light and primary gear from Man in the Box. It's, I believe, from a KLX 110. Helps with throttle response and acceleration. Phenomenal. I have the Man in the Box air intake, and then for my fuel controller system, I do have the Power Commander 6, as they don't make the 5 anymore. I did opt for the auto tuner, as where I'm located, I don't have any dynos nearby. That was the best option that I can get to have everything running smooth. I do have the Driven Racing fuel cap, and I did go with the gold to match the forks and the Öhlins rear suspension. A lot of people wonder why I'd spend so much money on a gas cap. I just hate putting a key in the gas cap to unlock it. Pro Taper handlebars from Man in the Box. Renthal grips, Man in the Box. These are double take mirrors. I do agree that bar and mirrors look much better. However, they leave a lot to be desired. And then I have a set of cheap shorty levers from Amazon. I did upgrade the chain, again, man of the box, and I also tried to get a lighter sprocket. I did weigh the OEM sprocket to this sprocket, and I think it was a matter of a few grams, so not sure how much that's actually helping. But hey, I got it, right? Other than that, I'm sure there's more that I've done to the bike that I just can't think of right now. Again, tomorrow's the big day. Have the mechanic come out, help me out with the install. Hopefully by tomorrow night, I'll have this up and running. I'm gonna take it out for a few rips, maybe get some sound clips for you. But other than that, this will be the last ride as just a simple 125.
Alright, so we are on the Z125 final ride with the 125cc motor. Now, this hill ahead has been a nemesis of this bike. Originally when I got it, this bike would only do 35 going up the hill, and it struggled to do so. Now, the speed limit on this hill is 35. If you are doing 35, you're going to get ran over. As of right now, the bike in third gear will stay right around 42 miles an hour, and when it flattens out a little bit, it'll start to creep up. At some point, it will hit about 45 on this hill. And again, unfortunately, if I look at my mirror right now, 45 is not enough to keep the cars off of my rear end. So, for good sake, let's say at the steepest part of the hill, in third gear, the best that I can do is 42 miles an hour. Again, yes, it's a 35 mile an hour zone, but even as I was climbing the hill, I had a car no more than 10 feet off of my tail. So let's do a little highway sprint. Let's see what we can do on the highway. Now going downhill, this bike has zero problems accelerating with the X-ring chain and those ceramic ball bearings. Tuck down just a little bit, and relatively quickly I'm at 66, 67 miles an hour, and there's our rev limiter. Now we're going to turn around and we're going to go uphill on this and see what this is capable of. Now this is a smaller hill on 422, and a lot of these other hills really causes some struggle for this bike, doing about 45 because they're so long. So let's see what this bike can do on the highway uphill. Alright, so on the flat part, I am able to do 60, but here comes the hill. At this point, I'm in 4th gear. I am not able to hit the rev limiter. I'm right around 8,500 RPM. The hill is starting to get steeper. I'm dropping down from 58. I'm at 56. By the time I get to that second sign, I'll be surprised if I'm still at 50. 54. 53, 52, 51, and honestly, I'm surprised that I stayed at 51. And at the steepness, after that sign, I can no longer go any faster than 51 miles an hour at 7,500 RPM. If all goes well tomorrow, once the initial braking is done, I'll have a good comparable. Here, I drop down to 50 miles an hour. Now, I am a realist. I understand that this is a small displacement motorcycle. I'm never going to make big power. What I do want is to be able to take this bike a little bit further and be able to do 55 mile an hour roads and not be concerned that I'm going to hit a hill. Now, if I ride this with my son, which I do quite a bit, at no point would I be able to maintain that 50 miles an hour. I certainly would have been at 45 miles an hour on that hill. And that wraps up the last ride for the Z125. I'll be putting out a video maybe with some of the install, maybe not. It depends on if the mechanic is comfortable with that. Again, I'm paying him to assist, maybe even do the full install. I'm not expecting him to be on camera. If he's not comfortable with that, I'm not going to put it out there. Again, no, not so much of this is for views, more or less for a buddy of mine that knows these roads well, that has the same bike, and I wish he could have the same experience. So, make a video. If other people watch it, you're more than welcome to. Definitely still hit the subscribe button and the like button. That way I feel good about myself. And don't go to Home Depot, get a short rope, and stop over at Salvation Army, get a wobbly stool, and hang myself. Just kidding. Your likeness of the video does not matter that much to me. But still, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I will see you when the big bore kit is on this bike. Have a great day.